Good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you might be doing. We wish to welcome you to the Silverlight Show. The Silverlight shines to illuminate that which lies hidden in darkness. For those of you tuning in today, we welcome you in. Let me be honest with you, I'm not feeling 100% today. You might call this a sick day. Now, in North America, we have this toxic relationship with sick days. I mean, 3 sick days is pretty much the standard for most companies. But anyone who has ever been sick knows most flus don't go away in 24 hours. You might feel a little bit better in 24 hours, but you're nowhere close to bouncing out of bed ready to take on the world again. Those type of flus do happen, but our employers are still following this 1920s idea that 3 days is sufficient for somebody to get over whatever illness they have. We just had a pandemic where people were out for weeks, and we still default back to this 3 sick days a year policy. There's also the fact there's some mornings you wake up, either you haven't slept well or maybe you've got a cold coming on, you don't know what it is, you don't quite feel yourself. But there's no way to call the boss for that. So either you have to use personal time, claim you have a family emergency, or use one of your sick days. Some places pay bonuses for not using sick days. Yeah, come on in when you're disgusting and hacking and coughing and give your coworkers whatever disease you have. And the hypocrisy in this is not seen. Yes, I understand owners like to see butts in seats. They're the ones that are paying you 60, 100,000, whatever it is that they're paying you. And for that, they expect to see a warm body sitting in a seat and doing whatever it is you do. I get that. It's part of the power trip an employer gets, whether they're a manager or an owner. However, the owners that I found were more profitable were more understanding about work from home arrangements, taking time off. They understood that people are human. And some were from pretty big corporations. Now, these are the same people that would nag you about being 1 minute late in the morning, which I've never understood that. But let's just concentrate on not feeling well. So, what do we need to do with these employers who are still stuck in the last century and maybe even earlier as far as attendance goes? Well, use all your sick days. Make it clear that they're not giving enough. The average person does get sick 4 to 6 times a year. So 3 days allowed divided by 4 to 6 occurrences of possible multi-day. Oh yeah, that math doesn't work. It winds up in a negative. We need more sick days built into our contracts or the ability to work from home. Although I am sure that you, and everybody else around has been so sick that you're at home and all you're doing is bed, bathroom, bed, bathroom, bed, bathroom, bed. That's all you're doing. So trying to work in those conditions, yeah, wouldn't happen. On the other hand, I've had the situation where I had the eye drops put in my eyes. You know, the ones where they do the scan? This is at 3 o'clock, and my former boss demanded that I come back in because they know those eye drops only take a half hour and then your vision is fine again. Yeah, they take a half hour to work, and then it takes an hour or two to clear out of your system. So I came back in, I helped where I could. This boss asked me, "Oh, can you read that for me?" And after an extreme struggle, I had to position my head exactly right, squint, and I could kind of see something only because I'd seen the form 100 times before, and I could make out, PTO XXX or whatever the hell it was. And aha, you can see. Yeah, but it's quitting time. Like, what was the point of that exercise? It was a power exercise to show that she was my boss and what she says goes. Remember, I went to the doctor at 3. The eye drops took effect by 3:30. Did I have somebody drive me or did I drive myself to the office? I honestly don't remember that. But I remember sitting around not being able to see and thinking, what a horrible waste of my time this is. Like I could hand paperwork out if somebody handed it to me. It was, but that was just them trying to express their dominance. And sick days are the same thing. Oh, you're allowed 3 sick days, but if you take more than one, we need a doctor's note. But you're allowing me 3 sick days. And I admit, I would abuse sick days. The first very nice day in the year, you know, snow's just melting, the trees are starting to come out. I would always take that day off. That was my treat to myself. I'd sit at home, enjoy a cup of tea, or maybe something else that was brewed, barbecue something up, and just try to get my energy back. It was an unofficial holiday for me. I'd usually save the other 2 sick days because I know something's going to come up in the year. But none of my employers ever figured that out because it was a different day every year. I know the day after Super Bowl, Monday, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people calling in sick. Now, I never judged them, but I know why you're calling in sick. And as a former boss myself, I just let it go, especially if it was a good employee. They're allowed to enjoy themselves once in a while. And it's not really that hard to move assignments and people around. It isn't. People that claim, oh, now I got to replace you on the schedule, and that shows that you are not capable of doing your job. You know what it was for me? Just wait for the next worker to come up. Great. Need a rush job on this, or can you do an extra run for me? And when you do that, it's so easy to balance. Remember, your other workers want to make money. If you have to pay a bit of overtime, I almost never had to pay overtime because we were limited. And in the trucking industry, there's a different set of hours that you go by. So it's not after 40 hours, it's after 60 hours. And it's really hard to run into an overtime situation when you're allowed 60 hours in a week. But it's not fair to the truck drivers who have to work 60 hours a week just to make a decent amount of money. So I wouldn't really freak out at my drivers. Document it. So you can become a great boss. When people call in sick, you just say, yep, document it. Don't ask. Just sit there. Yep. Bill Bill Chimes called in at 8 o'clock in the morning, unable to make it for his 9 o'clock start. Um, that's it. Put that in your logbook so that if somebody says, hey, what's going on with Bill Chimes? Yep, called in 8 for 9 o'clock. And let other people make those decisions. I'd go after you if you're a bad employee, but if you're a passable employee who actually got some work done, no, not my problem. The owner finally started reading my reports, and he said, when has this one particular driver, when has he started calling in? I don't know. But before I started working here, go talk to my previous boss who is now working in a different division. And that other fellow said, yeah, every 2 weeks he calls in with the same lame excuse. Well, once the owner became aware of it, he took care of it. So I didn't need to be the bad guy. But that was a case of abuse. Tom calling in 2 hours before his shift saying, I don't think I can make it. Yep, don't worry. It sucks. We'll make it work. But, your health is more important to me. And people think you're a good boss. what a bonus. Document things. Anyways, with that, we hope you have a fantastic day. That's not the way that I usually do the ending, but I'm sick, so that's why I can't remember things. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Silverlight Show. If you did, please like, share, because sharing is caring. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Don't forget to click the button, the bell. Everybody knows the bell. I'm not going to tell you. And we hope you have a fantastic day.